Coming to you from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Quinn Spinn. Hey now, and welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one and all, to a brand new edition of the Quinn Spinn. I think Scotty Rock would be very proud of that vibrato that I held out for that length of time. Anyway, I'm your host, the Quinn. I'm back here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Stitcher, YouTube, and more for another rousing and riveting installment of the official podcast of Underground Music Collective. And you just heard Rival 9's All I Become. That has been our opening theme song since the great year of 2014, and it will be until the very end of days. As a matter of fact, All I've Become is coming up on its 8th anniversary, of being our opening theme song, because that became our opening theme song in a contest September 8th, 2014. 8 years to the day next Thursday. So, fun fact for you, and again, it will be till the end of time. And I'm here for another solo mission. I'm very excited. I have the studio time. I mean, I'm in between interviews right now, and I figured, why not? Let's bang out a solo mission right here on the new Quinn Spinn interview set. And speaking of interviews, if you listen to last week's show, you know Kashana was our guest, and she is a tremendous musician, creative, and just overall human being doing a lot of good out here in the community. And it was such an inspiring, uplifting conversation about what it means to be a creative citizen in this ecosystem. And one thing that's sticking out to me from that conversation, and I suggest you go back and listen to the whole thing because it's fantastic, but one thing that's really sticking out to me right now is the idea of, how do I know that I'm living my dream, right? Because let's be honest, if you've been on the creative path for a while, if you've been on your journey, you know the ups and downs. You know that this isn't for a point A to point B kind of journey where, you know, everything just goes swimmingly and you just, you know, march, manifest destiny onward to your greater, higher purpose, right? You're going to hit bumps in the road. You're going to hit setbacks. You're going to encounter challenges, right? And even, you know, 9 years in, we're 9 years into this whole Quinn Spinn run. We're in year 10 now officially. And there are still challenges. There are still setbacks. There's still, you know, sometimes moments where you wonder, okay, am I doing the right thing? Am I truly walking in the right direction toward building this platform and having a greater impact, right? It doesn't go away ever. You learn how to manage it better over time, right? You learn that the lows are not permanent. You also learn that the highs are only temporary as well. And you're able to stay level a lot better. The more you experience these things and the more that you encounter challenges as well as triumphs, you know not to get too high or too low, right? So how do you know that you're living your dream? Right. I made the point on last week's episode that through those challenges and through those triumphs that you're still able to forge ahead. It doesn't have to be pretty. You don't have to make leaps and bounds of progress every single day, right? But the important thing is, are you able to wake up unimpeded by outside circumstance, unimpeded by adverse health conditions, unimpeded by anything outside of your control? Are you able to wake up and create and live in your purpose and share your truth and take the steps needed, however small they may be on any particular day, to build your platform? If you're doing that, you're making progress. If you're doing that, you're building your dream. Congratulations. You're doing it. There's no moment of arrival. There's no fanfare with the angels blowing the trumpets, right? Even for the ultra successful, there's always that next mountain. There's always that next task, that next challenge to overcome in order to build the dream even better, right? So don't feel like you're behind. Don't feel like you're not walking in your purpose just because you're not where you envision yourself ultimately being. Again, it's not about the arrival. It's about the journey. As long as you're living your truth and communicating and acting in that truth and acting on purpose and living on purpose, you're able to wake up and create something every single day that will help you build that even better. That's all it is, man. You're living your dream. You're moving toward it. You're moving toward even greater aspects of it. So Don't get discouraged by the lows. Don't get too high with the highs. All of those things are temporary, but it's progress over time. It's forward motion. It's moving with intention in everything you do. That itself is the true dream, as opposed to any particular moment. Hope that helps you today. If you like this episode, if you like this message, why don't you share it on your platform of choice? That's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Stitcher, YouTube, and more. Also, learn more about the Quinn Spinn, 2 N's in Quinn, 2 N's in Spin, at undergroundmusiccollective.com, our central hub for all things independent music, creativity, sweet merch, and more. Go get one of these shirts, by the way. They're up on the website. UMC is also on all the socials, by the way, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, like I said. You can also follow the UMC 20 playlist on Spotify. It's updated every Tuesday with 20 fresh tracks and the latest episode of the Quinn Spinn. NashLive.Live's your hookup for shows. We got a couple coming up this month. We've got more in the pipeline, including that big one, that takeover at the Listening Room on October 3rd. That's very exciting. They're all very exciting. Go to NashLive.Live to learn more. Revel 9's All I've Become, going to take us out just like it brought us in and has brought us in for just about the past 8 years. I'll see you next time. Hey now.
Now